Hey, everybody. This is the first time that I've ever done a YouTube live. Let's see how this works. See if my computer can handle it. Hopefully you can hear me. Let's check. It looks like you can hear me all right. Let me adjust my microphone volume a little bit. Welcome. If you want to just say something in the chat as you come in, that'd be great. Where are you from? Hey, there's somebody. Hey, Tim, how you doing? Takuro, how you doing, man? We're having fun here. Let's see if we get some people in here. Oh, you can hear me all right. Okay, this is the first ever YouTube live. I've never done this before, so I just figured we'd talk a little bit about the reMarkable. Hey, there you go. There's some people coming in. If you don't mind saying where you're from and what are you thinking about this reMarkable 2 kind of launch today? It's not a launch. It's just the reviews are out, which is really cool. I figured we'd just get together in here and see if we'd get some people. Like I said, I've never done this before, so it's an interesting thing. I do have the reMarkable 1 over here. All right, we've got Germany in the house. That's awesome. And like I was saying, and we'll wait a minute and we'll get into it a little bit. Give it just a few seconds. We're a minute in, maybe a minute 30 we'll go. We have 9 viewers on there. That's cool for the first time. From Hungary, hey, good to see you. Great to see everybody in here. Morocco, oh, that's cool. Nice. North Africa from the UK. Hey, everybody, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're in here. We're having some fun, and I'm just getting this YouTube thing going, so it's fun. Having a blast. But as I was saying, we can get into it. And if you got any questions for me, please ask. I've got all the devices in here. Quadrano's over here, the reMarkable 1. And I think the main point that I wanted to really talk about was after watching all the reviews. Lindsay from the UK. Hey, we got a lot of UKers. That's awesome. I love it. California. Nice. We got some California. There's a US person. We don't have anybody from the US here. But in looking at the reMarkable 2, right, and looking at all the reviews today, the one thing that I'm seeing is it's the same exact software. I just put a video up to talk about that, and it's really great. Oh, you're just watching the new one. Good. The new view. He did a great job with it, and it's very similar, right? It's just going to be a real fast a Ferrari, as I said in the kind of description, that it's kind of, it's a similar thing, and that's what I've been saying all along. About the device. Let me read some of the questions. I love it. If you want to tell me where you're from, that's great. Brazil, great. You can see there. Yeah, we all want to get that reMarkable 2, in our hands. Even me. I think there's only 20. Hey, we got a couple people from Florida. Great to see. Wonder what the thoughts, the difference in the quality between the Rocketbook and the reMarkable. Well, they're different. Here's the thing. I'm getting a lot on this reMarkable versus the Rocketbook, and I have a Rocketbook around here somewhere. There's one down there. The big thing is that the Rocketbook uses gel ink, right? So the gel ink is I like the writing kind of difference of it, where the e-ink devices kind of have like a scratchy, you're using this nib on the stylus, right? And so it's got like a scratchy feel. It's a totally different experience. It's really hard. Now I could compare the Quaderno to the reMarkable, which is a little bit easier. But when they change these nib tips, it's all about this, I think, more than the screen. Now they're saying the reMarkable 2 is going to have a new screen in, which is going to be a little different. And I think we're going to be able to see that. But at the end of the day, the nib is what's so critical. So when it comes to the Rocketbook, you're talking about a gel ink device that kind of writes smooth. And if you think about gel, then this is more of a nib, which we're scratching on, if you could think about that. How do you feel about the handwriting on the paper? The paper's over here. It's very similar. And what I got to tell you about the paper is the paper is a little bit more scratchier. It's like it has a coating. Like when I grabbed the Quaderno, right? These are very smooth, and this has got like a coating. It actually is pleasing. It's nothing bad, but it's a little rougher. You can actually hear it, right? I mean, I don't know if you can hear that in my mic. So that has that on it, where the Quaderno is smooth, right? And same thing with the reMarkable and other devices. So when you have the stylus, you can hear that, but then on the paper, it has even more of a sound. It's like there's a coating on it. But what that happens is that it actually gets a little bit darker. And so the darkness on it hurts the reading a little bit, where I think the Quaderno is a little bit brighter and the reMarkable is a little bit brighter. That's a great question. I really appreciate that question. But that's the difference. I know a lot of people are looking at this device for an alternative to the reMarkable 2. I think there is a little latency on this, just FYI. These guys are on version software 1.0. This is a brand new device on a Sony platform. I love it for collaboration because I can be working with this in 10 people and they can be collaborating back. We could be doing a mind map and they could be on their iPads and other devices and they could be working on that. That's the difference with this app, or this tablet. And when people talk about it, that's the thing where the reMarkable is like a single user note-taking beast, right? And the new one is going to be, I look like a lot faster with almost minimal latency in this thing, which is going to be great. By the way, Neo's snoring. That isn't me. If you hear him in the back, I got a big lab. He's going to be in some of the videos soon. But that's the difference, right? So there's like zero latency. I can see it on the new ones that are really, really good. And on my deep guide, he showed that, and I put that in the video, how fast that's going to be. And it's not bad on this. Out of these devices, the Quaderno and this are the fastest, with the Papyr being really a close third there. You can see some of the latency, which is a great question. Love your videos. Have Rocketbook and reMarkable 1. Can't bear waiting to the ink to dry in the Rocketbook. Love my Rocketbook 1. So excited to see the reviews of the new version. Yeah, and there's some great new reviews out there. Again, unfortunately, I didn't get one. But we got some people that did get some out there that are doing a great job on that. And I'm just going to grab my notes here, which I do my daily notes on the Quaderno to make sure I get everything. And Voya did a great job with his reviews, by the way. If you guys don't mind supporting his channel, it was really good to see. He spent like 3 hours. Like his reviews, like this channel is not about reviews. It's about how I use these devices, right? I'm not going to get into technical stuff. It's just like I use this Papyr for working together and contribution, and we all get together and we contribute to each other and we put it in there. That's what I'm going to teach, right? I'm not going to get into how, what the specs are on this thing. And he did a super job of breaking everything down. I watched 3 hours of his videos today. And basically what I distilled is that, we got the same software platform with a new hardware, and it's great. I mean, if you're a single user that just wants a device to take notes, it's fantastic. I still don't like the reader on it that much. I think the Onyx products are better readers so far. But that's all software. Eventually that could be enhanced, but you got to look at the company and what they're looking to develop, right? So that's great. I've seen some people complaining that you end up spending a fortune on pencil tips with the reMarkable 2. What's your view? They do go through a lot. Like these nibs, they're in here. They're these little things, right? So you go through them. You can see that one's a little flat, I think, already. You go through them. It depends how hard you press, right? And you do go through them. That's kind of the price you pay with that device, is you're going to sacrifice the nib. And that's why I keep telling you the difference between these styluses, and especially this, I always say this wrong, the German Stadler. I always say that wrong. This has like a graphite tip, so it lasts longer. It's smoother, but you don't get the writing feel as much. More like the iPad with the Apple Pencil, where these you get more of a writing grip on the device, but at the cost of burning down the stylus a little bit more. I think the reMarkable nibs go faster than the Sony nibs. And these are all Sony nibs, by the way. So when I talk about the Papyr and the Quaderno, that is all based on the Sony platform. These devices are. In fact, you can see they're exactly the same except for the color difference, okay, on those devices. So great questions today. I've seen some people complaining about that. The interaction with Papyr is incredible. Yeah, the interaction, that's the key. Hope they lessen up latency. That's the key. They got to get the latency a little bit better. But I think that why there's a little bit of latency is, remember, this software is version 1.0, and it comes from a 42-inch. Now, look, here's the deal. Quirk Logic has actually said they're working to get me one of those big 42-inch e-ink devices. Hey, I didn't get the reMarkable 2. If they send me one of these, I'm going to be a happy camper. I mean, those are like $5,000 devices. It's the biggest e-ink device in the world. So that e-ink device is in here now, right? They've shrunken it. So there's going to be some time while they work on this to get it to work at the same thing with their big quill, which is that big 42-inch device. You guys, I'll be dancing if I get that in here. You'll be seeing a lot of reviews on that if they send me one of those suckers, for sure. But that's what your issue is with the Papyr, is because they're working on, they're bringing that big, huge Papyr, gigantic, I call it the King Kong E device, down into this. And so it's going to take some time to really work through that. Do you have concerns about the lack of improvement in software and how that can be in the future? No, with this company, QuirkLogic, I don't. The things they're doing with people, I think is amazing. I mean, they're literally, when somebody buys one of these, they're setting up a conference call or a Zoom meeting so they can go through it and set it up for them. That's just insane. I don't know any company that does that. They're from Canada. They're only shipping in the United States right now. But I think it's a good device. It doesn't have dual screen, but they listened and they said they're going to try to bring it. If this has dual screen, they continue to work on the latency, the Quaderno will go away. I can tell you that. I'll be using this for everything. Right now, I'm using it for notes and collaboration. So it's an interesting device and concept because nobody's really doing that and using the Wi-Fi the way they're doing that. That is the Papyr device. It's QuirkLogic for those of you that are watching that haven't seen my videos before. And by the way, if you don't mind hitting the like button, it helps. If you don't mind, if you like what we're doing here, I'm trying to grow this channel. We finally hit 8,200 subscribers and it's a tiny channel, but we're going to build it. And I got to get more stuff than just these devices. Part of the problem is I buy all these things, right? So it adds up. I need to hit the lottery or get a bunch more subscribers so I can have these coming in every week. But that's the name of the company, QuirkLogic. That's what it is. I go through the reMarkable tips very quickly, but I gently file them down with a nail file once they get bumpy to stretch them out a bit longer. What a comment, man. I don't know how to do this chat yet, but I should star that. I'm telling you, we only may have 8,000 subscribers, but they are the best subscribers on the planet. Some of the smartest people, I swear. And I don't just say that to say that. I can tell you from the comments. I'm learning every day. Somebody showed me how to put labels or do the layers on here and then how to rename the layers. Just awesome people. And every once in a while, I get a hater that says, "You're a jerk, JB. You have too much energy." And I'm like, all right, whatever. I try to delete those, but I love it. But that's a great point. So you can file them down a little bit to say them. Thank you. I'm glad you're seeing me live. It's cool to be live. Francois, I love your name. That's just the best name. Hello, what about the Onyx Max Street? Man, I knew I'd get that question. I sold my Onyx Boox Max 2. I used to have one for a while. Again, I have to buy my devices. So when you start popping for $800 and $700, and I got microphones and camera equipment, I got the new Sony coming in. This stuff gets expensive. I mean, you start shooting on this, and I wish I could say I was independently wealthy. My business does good. My morning coach business, I've been good at, doing some coaching and stuff, but I'm not independently wealthy. So I have to buy my devices, and I had that Boox Max, and I loved it. The only thing was I needed a note taker, not a reader, right? That was the big thing at that time. So I had the reMarkable, and I had the iPad, and it just didn't have a place for me. But for people who are looking for a second monitor, for a reader, the Onyx Booxes are really cool. They run on the Android system. People that want simplicity, like the way the reMarkable company's building, less distractions. The Onyx has a million distractions. I mean, you can read all types of books. You can put the Kindle app on it. It's a totally different device. Like it's in a whole nother world. And I will have one to kind of bring it in to compare. But where it fits in this category of things, decent note taker, but better reader. Where this is a great note taker and worse reader. This is a great collaboration tool. Okay, reader. This is a fantastic technical device, reader, decent note taker, horrible file system. Maybe don't know what I'm doing, but the file system in this is an abomination. So each of them have their own little things that work and stuff. So that's kind of how it works. You got to find what works for you. And again, hey guys, thanks for watching. I mean, it's like I said, it's a tiny channel and I appreciate you being here. If you don't mind saying where you're from, that's great in the chat. What do you think about the reMarkable 8 GB storage? Do you think improving the cloud could be a solution? Man, that was a negative, right? A lot of people were talking about the 8 GB of storage. They didn't put a lot of storage on it. And yeah, and I was, Voya said it was because of the restrictions of the cloud maybe and some stuff. Man, they're going to sell a ton of these. I'll tell you. All the major people are behind them. They're going to sell a ton of these. And I don't know. That's a great question. I would say that is a negative. I would put that in a negative. And I think improving cloud storage will help. But if you have, again, using it as a reader and you have a bunch of, a bunch of books in here, it's going to take up space. Now, I mean, it's hard to, the notes, but over time, right? And so you could download it, but I still think they could have bumped up that storage a little bit. So I'll give them a knock on that. I'm with you on that. Sorry, I meant the reMarkable too. When I asked about software, that's cool. No, I think the reMarkable is okay. They do a pretty good job of working on their software. It kind of drives me crazy how they release it in little batches. I wish they'd just release it. It's like, hey, we have a new software rollout, and then I never see it for a week. But they do weird stuff. but it's okay. They're getting their kind of getting things together at the same time, you know. Hopefully if demand is high on these kind of devices, the unbranded nibs might be able to be bought in bulk. I would agree with that, Dylan. I think you'll find that as more people use these devices, we're going to get better pricing. That's, you know, with this, hey, we're a very small niche group of people. Again, people that are in these devices, I love because they're intelligent. They're, you know, they're less distracted. They do some cool stuff. So I love working with everybody, but we got to grow it, right? Because there's people that'll just say, hey, just give me an iPad. Does the same thing. When we know that we're using these devices for other reasons to kind of be creative, let our mind be clear, maybe eye issues. And the iPad does, I mean, don't get me wrong. The iPad is the most amazing device. I use mine every day. I have it over there right now, but that thing I use all the time. But these are different devices, and the people that use them, we have a little bit of a different mindset. Do you think Amazon will bring out a similar product at some point in their Kindle range? Oh, that is the question. I don't know if the market share is big enough. It's just like this channel, right? I'm trying to grow this channel. I can't grow it big enough to support what I want to do with just these devices. I mean, I'm going to go into other tech, all my, you know, cameras, Apple and stuff like that, which increases the market share. But if Amazon sees this market go big, man, I think they would jump on it. And that could hurt all these producers, right? If Amazon comes out with Kindle, because they do the price crunch where they just come out and just say, we're going to take that market, and they just blow the market away. But it'll be interesting. It's another great question. I like that. RM2, I don't know what is expected. I started watching the 5 video series you mentioned, excited, and got even more excited watching his reaction. The build quality, yeah, it's great. And Voya's great. I mean, I trust him. He does a lot of device reviews. And if you watched his video yesterday, he was upset into the delays. So he's a good dude. He's an independent person like me. We don't have any fight in this game. I mean, reMarkable's not paying me anything. The only way I make money is if you guys get involved in my programs and watch my channel, right? So at the end of the day, I think he's being pretty objective, and I can't wait to get my hand on one of those, you know? Really had a premium impact on him. Yeah, I think it is. And that's why I keep saying the software didn't change, but it's like a Ferrari. I really think the hardware did. And I think the hardware is what we're talking about. And Voya was really excited about that. And it's nice to see that he's getting excited about that, right? Couple of things. I mean, on there, yeah, there is no landscape like these devices. Like if you see my Quaderno, I go with a dual screen, and I got the landscape, which you've seen this in my other videos where that's why I use it in the morning. You can see I have my daily notes right there in my schedule. That's just sweet. And I thought I was going to sell this on eBay, but it's my morning device. I mean, I wake up and I organize with this thing, and I know Papyr's working on it, right? They're going to work on a dual screen. And I wish reMarkable had something like that. Now, what reMarkable has though is layers. So it's something I wasn't using. And if I didn't have that, then I could do the layers between two devices. And I didn't realize you can change workbook types. So basically what I would do if I did the same thing on the reMarkable 1 or reMarkable 2 is I would do a template of each, like the daily schedule, and then my notes on the other side. And I'd go back and forth and just keep adding to that notebook. So you could do this. And then I would do a layer 2. And when I was done with that, I would just delete the layer. So there is some option to do that here. It wouldn't be dual screen. On the Papyr, by the way, a little hack for dual screen, which is pretty cool, is because this can go to multiple devices in your computer, is actually you can put it up on the screen and have it there on another device. And basically it's dual screen. So that's a hack. Like if you needed a dual screen, you could actually do that for sure. Okay, let's see. Let's keep going. I did not cancel my order. Cool. Well, we'll wait and see. The RM2 could really be great all around here at $400. I know it's right in a pretty good, pretty good area, right? For pricing. It's not cheap, but it's not crazy expensive either. I like your categorizer rater note taker collaboration tool. You should draw this out as on one of the devices as summary. I will, that's a great idea. I will. This is all new to me. I'm just getting into YouTube last couple months, even though I've had a channel for a while. So I'm going to do some cool stuff like that. And anytime you guys ask, I love it. Hey, hola, hello from Italy. Waiting for the Onyx Boox Max 3. Yeah, I think you're going to be fine with that. Again, depending on your use case, it's still an awesome device and it does some really cool stuff. If you like a reader, man, that thing is awesome. And I used to have the stand and you could hook a Bluetooth keyboard and you can actually use it as another monitor. So that's one thing cool about that. And your opinion, based on the RM2 reviews, do you think there is a significance between the RM and RM2 in terms of note-taking experience? That's a great question. So in watching the reviews, here's the difference. The software is the same. but the speed is different. So you are going to see a noticeable change. So here's my deal. If you've never used a reMarkable before, I don't think you would ever notice the difference, except I'm going to tell you the truth. I never liked the form factor of this. I don't like the white, even though my Quaderno's white. I don't like the thickness. And I think with that little stainless and the buttons gone, because sometimes you hit these buttons, I think you will see a noticeable difference between the two devices. Is it justifiable to spend an extra couple $100 if you can get this device? I don't know. That's pretty close. My frustration is I have this device and I want to use this for certain things and my reMarkable 2 for other things when it comes next month, but you can't have two user experiences. That's kind of a problem, right? So I don't know if you would see the difference unless you've been using this for a while. And if you have, you're going to see the difference. Because Voy in his review, like he said, it actually tricked his mind. It was so fast. And that means like almost zero latency. And a lot of people are worried about that, especially artists and people that like to draw, which isn't me, but you will see that instant thing, which is pretty cool. So great question. Thank you. Why are the Stylus options so limited? Would that be on the paper? Probably because you have to charge them. So I believe, and Sony back in the day when I started podcasting, they had a mini disc system. And they didn't give it to everybody else. So the damn thing died. It was awesome. You had these little discs and it was so cool. I was like, this could be awesome. But Sony wouldn't release the technology. I think this is another thing that Sony doesn't want these out. And so they're only part of the devices that they're working with, which is Papyr, Fujitsu, Quaderno, and their Sony paper, digital paper. I think that's why we're limited on these things. Okay, so that's great. Some other questions. Hey, guys, if you don't mind hitting the like button, that's great. It helps me and helps the channel. I'm brand new at this, and I love all you guys being a part of this. I really do like this. What's your take on other brands making colored ink eaters? I am so excited about color. I mean, who is it? Is that going to be cool when you pick one of these up in color? I think we're a year away from being able to have notes and stuff in color. That's what could be the really killer, right? Imagine being able to just change your colors and write on an e-ink device. It would be almost iPad-ish in the way the iPad is used by some artists. So that could be cool. And I'm kind of a nerd, so every once in a while I like to read, comics. And I think if you put comics on here in color, it would be so cool. Because the iPad, I still don't like reading on it, and I don't like to put a matte screen protector on it, but it's great. Catherine, yes, I am using the paper every day. I'm using it every day for collaboration, and I'm using it mostly for notes right now. Okay. When it gets dual screen, it'll probably take the place of this because I love that dual screen. Okay. Just FYI, great question. RM1, RM2 templates definitely be worth a separate video. I need to do that. Yes. Yes, I will get on that for sure. If they make any major AM software improvements, this will be problematic for processing power for the RM1. I don't think so. I know they went to a dual processor, but I don't think there's that much that could really harm the RM1. In fact, they have publicly stated that they are going to support that RM1. How long that goes, I don't know. If it was Apple, they would get rid of it sooner than later. But I have a feeling that these devices, the way that I look at reMarkable and the company is they want a simplistic design. And I don't want to say anything bad about them not giving me a review device. They've actually reached out to me, the VP of communications, and I've discussed that, man, they could have handled this so much better. I personally feel they're a good company. It's just they're terrible at their launches, right? And their customer service, they really haven't got that dialed in. They're great marketers, but they got to get that working. And I think they'll support the device. I really do. People that have been canceling the pre-orders are getting their money back right away. If they weren't a good company, they would be keeping that, right? And I think here's one thing, guys, I'll tell you, I think is true about reMarkable. They come from the crowd-funded background. Remember, they got a bunch of money for the RM1 through crowdsourcing, and then they developed the product. I think they're still in that model. They got to evolve from a crowdfunding model where we all gave them money and then they built RM2 to supporting their products and not being a crowd-sourced kind of company. And I think they'll get there, but remember, they're beginnings. And I think that's important to understand, really important. Hey, we got a professor. I love that. Looking for an e-ink device for reading and academics articles, plus just write on paper. For academic journal stuff, I like the Quaderno. It's bigger. I've done some reviews on this. I really like it. I mean, you're going to be fine with the reMarkable or any of them, but when you get into these bigger devices, the only issue, you're talking about $790 here. This is pushing it. Also, the Onyx Boox Max 3 is in the $790 range. The only issue I have with the reMarkable 2 is it's not the best reader. It doesn't have pinch and zoom. And if you're really getting into some academic journals and stuff, it can be a little bit challenging as a reader. I like the bigger device. and able to use it. And their best reader, I personally think, is the Onyx Boox Max 3. And then we come to the Quaderno and these Sony devices, Sony Digital Paper, the Papyr. So you could find something in that category, but take a hard look at the Quaderno. Just realize it's expensive for what it's doing, but it is a good reading device. And by the way, I don't like the file system. I'm going to tell you right now, I just don't like the file system on it. That's where the Onyx is a little bit better, but the note taking is inferior to that device. Okay. Great question. Thank you for that. I hear the hardware is mostly good on the RM2. The software for reading and anointing is especially good. How often do the RM update their software? They're pretty consistent on updating their software. They do it in batches, just like they're releasing this. And every once in a while, they just release another product or a software update, and they do it in batches. And again, that drives me crazy because it goes like, I don't know, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, United States, and it just kind of comes out. But yeah, I've had good experiences with their releases. Nothing bad to say there. What are your biggest problems with the software? Sorry about that. I lost that new people might be aware of. I don't have a real problem with the software. I think all these devices is just getting used to them. I think it's all about what works best for you. And I think, again, we're all niche people, or we wouldn't be looking at these devices, right? If we were iPad people, we would just be going to get an iPad, right? So it's really important you find what fits your eye and your hand and the way the software works. It's weird because, like I said, the Quaderno just works because it's dual screen, right? That just fits me in the morning. It just fits. But I could make other things work. I could make the reMarkable work with layers. I could make the Papyr work by creating different templates, but that's just more efficient for me. And because I have it, I use it. But you got to find what your best use case is. If it's reading technical journals, I think the Quaderno is great. If it's general note-taking as an individual and great file system, the reMarkable is awesome. If you're looking to collaborate and you're a speaker and you're a teacher, somebody that's dealing, collaborating, there's nothing close to the Papyr, right? And so figuring those things out. If you're a reader, the Onyx Boox Max, and you want like a word processor, it's all ink, you have problems with your eyes and you want to get away from these monitors, Onyx makes great products. And now we have these color stuff out if you're just readers or you just want a Kindle, but I don't think anybody we're here for Kindles. We're here talking about these devices. So it's finding what your particular need is and then making it work around that. So if I collaborate with people, can I make this into a note taker? Yes. Am I going to have a little latency? Yes. Is it version 1.0 of the software? Yeah. And they're going to eventually work it out, but I can work through that. So it's a great question. Let me see. How do you manage? Hey, Frank, how you doing? How do you manage jumping between so many devices? Don't you get in the muddle? I'm insane, man. You don't understand. I'm coming on 4,000 podcasts. I do a video a day. I have a team. We have thousands of people in membership sites. I run 2 masterminds. I do events. We have multiple businesses. My wife is stuck in Colombia. We have a couple places down there. She's actually Colombian, and we have apartments there, but she can't get back here because of the COVID. They won't let her be back. So I'm just crazy. I mean, I'm just weird. I have 2 screens going here constantly, and then I play golf every day. That's my life. So I go 1,000,000 miles an hour. I'm 51, loving life. I would like to teach some of those secrets here if you guys want that. I drink a special like lemon water thing every morning. I really am into routines. And that's how I can get away from working each device. Am I perfect? No, I'm horribly imperfect. I make so many mistakes. And believe me, I built my business around that. So people know that when I coach them or I work with them, they know they've got to be flexible with me because I'm not perfect. I'm not going to claim I'm the smartest. I try to outwork everybody. I try to hustle everybody because I love people. And anybody that watches my channel have ever bought my books or a part of what I do, as long as you're not a jerk to me, I will always give you everything I got. That's just the way I lived, and so I love it, man. I eat it up. I have all these devices all over, and I don't know. It's just my brain is wired that way and can do it. And I need it. Like I thrive off of this energy and helping people and doing what I can to do this. And I'm blessed that I have the ability to do this, that I've been able to build a business that allows me to do YouTube every day as a hobby and do this as a hobby. Otherwise I would have to work. Right. So I also am very thankful for the opportunity that I have to help people, and anything I can do for you, I'm going to help you. Hey, yeah, we got 50 viewers on here, 53, 23 likes. Man, you guys are awesome. This is so cool. My first one ever. There we go. Thumb up. Frank, you rock. Thank you. Especially bad energy. Yeah, there's a lot of haters out there. We get some haters once in a while. It's unbelievable. some of the comments that I get, and I just laugh, right? It's like, you're a jerk. You have too much energy. You're fake. And I'm like, I don't know how to be any other way. I'm not trying to be fake. I'm really not. And we have some really, the thing, and the key for me is what I focus is on you guys, the great viewers. I just focus on how can I produce better content? How can I grow this so that we have fun here? I know what I like to watch on YouTube, and I'm trying to provide that, right, to you. And I know I'll screw up, and I'm going to have some garbage on here, but I'm going to do my best to really do that. I just reMarkable, yeah, $400 US. That is pretty cheap, right? Yeah. reMarkable is $400. That's the thing. They came in at a really kind of cheap price point. Vinay, no. YouTube is not my job. I'm a podcaster first. Just real quick, I don't want to bore you guys, but back in 2005, I started podcasting. My podcast hit top 25 in the world. And back there, I went broke. I had no money, but I had a lot of listeners. We had 40,000 listeners. And in 2009, think about that, 2005, 2009, 4 years, I had done, I don't know how many episodes, 1,000 or so. I went paid. And so I went to a subscription site called morningcoach.com. I still have it. And 1,200 people went with me, paying me $20 a month. It's now $30 a month. And a lot of those people stayed with me. So I do a daily motivational show. It's $30 a month. And then I have masterminds and coaching where people work together to build their businesses. So that's my primary job. And I'm a writer. I've written 4 books. I've been published. I probably won't go with a publisher again, but it was nice to get paid to write as a C grammar student. But now I'm writing my 5th book, and I will self-publish that. It's just easier for me, and I do all the sales. So I have another job. Yes, it's keeping people motivated. It's energy. It's writing books. I don't like to bring that here. I'm not a sales guy. This is my hobby, and I love it. I just love connecting with people. It's just like being on stage and be able to, get down in the crowd and work with people. That's what I absolutely love. So yes, motivational speaker first. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, it's my first live stream ever. It's awesome. It's so funny. Batch 8 for you. Just hang on. I think the RM can work, but here's the deal. If you are waiting for your RM2, and I said this in some of my videos, the Rocketbook is a great alternative. It's inexpensive. I'm going to grab it. Sorry, guys. And you use a gel ink pen. This isn't gel ink, but you can erase it. And this is a great $25 alternative instead of going and buying an RM1 and then having 2 devices. If you don't have a lot of cash and you're waiting and you're a student, and you may fall in love with these. I use my Rocketbooks for a lot of things, and they're inexpensive and they work. And basically what you do is you erase them as you write on them, which is really cool. So that's a good alternative for you while you're waiting. Sabine, I think I said your name right. One interesting subject to talk about at some point is how you stay positive through COVID. Yeah, it's tough. Basically I look at it this way. Thousands of people died last night and I didn't. So I'm going to wake up and do the best I can until the day I die. Right. And that's kind of how I live my life. I know it's kind of cheesy and, but it is what it is. I just wake it up and give it everything that I've got. And it's served me. It's gave me the ability to meet people like you and meet my mastermind members, my morning coach members. And I get a lot of energy from being like on a mission from God. I don't want to get religion, but that's what I'm saying. Like I have a mission to help as many people as I can. And whether it's here with tech or whether it's motivational, I'm going to help people stay positive. And just that alone keeps me positive because I can't let people down. And that's part of my DNA. I think I got that from my mom. I was raised by a single mother until 10, and we struggled. We didn't have much. And she used to keep telling me, JB, there's magic in your words. Just be positive. And she used to have to steal food so we could eat. And man, she just pounded it in my head. And I just was like, man, I'm just blessed. And every day I live like life's a blessing, and it changes everything. Thanks for asking that question. Big question. Do you think RM2 team will get on real updates to the reading side? I hope so. I mean, that's what I think we need. If this could be a killer device, if they get the reading side of it a little bit better. I think that's where they got EPUB and they got PDFs, which is great, but let's get a pinch and zoom in here. That's software, right? There's little things they could do instead of that little thing on the side. I'm with you. I hope they're listening to this. You're so refreshing and positive. Thank you, Alice. I try to be. I don't want to be cheesy, though. It's hard to keep that balance, Check. Yeah. Hey, it's great. Amy. Hey, you did I did the video. So that was so awesome. Which platform do you stream your podcast? My podcast, I'm on Apple and stuff. It's called Morning Coach. So you can find it everywhere. I do Mondays for free, by the way, if you want some good energy. It's just, I've been doing it for 100 years. You should write a chapter of book on each of these devices. I could. That could be fun. I love writing. That's part of it, Yeah, the Rocketbook OCR, by the way, Alice says, again, smartest we got the best subscribers, right? OCR, which is text to handwriting on the Rocketbook, is actually pretty good. For students and anybody that's struggling waiting, I'm telling you, the Rocketbook is a good device. I do not get paid by any of these people. I just think for the money, while you're waiting, it's something you could take your notes, take pictures of it, use a text to handwriting, all that stuff without spending a ton of money. That's great. I find with my reMarkable, despite it being designed to minimize distractions, I find myself doodling and painting on it all the time because it feels so damn nice. Wait till you get the new one. I think it's going to be 10 times as hard. I think it's going to be even harder than that. 57 viewers. You guys are awesome. My first one ever with 32 likes. Thank you so much. Love your positive approach. Thank you so much, Alice. Great opportunity to pick up an RM1 on eBay. Alice, again, with a good one. Yeah, you could probably get one there. Why does reMarkable only have 8 gigs of internal memory, but my phone, Chaplain James White, great question. We talked a little bit about that earlier. I think that's one of the complaints, right? They could have bumped it up to 16, and I think that would have been better. We talked about maybe some cloud issues. Voya, who did the My Deep Guides, who's awesome, who did the reviews over there, he said that maybe it had something to do with the cloud server configuration, and maybe they're expecting just to sell a ton of these, and that's the part of it, right? So, yeah, I think that's a negative. I'm gonna put that in the negative column. I'm with you there. I think they could have bumped up the amount of storage for sure, or even maybe added external. But you know what? It's not. You can't be perfect with everything, and I think that's one of the negatives there that they have an issue with. Is the RM2 has a built-in light? No built-in light. No, you've got to have a light on these devices. I think the Onyx, maybe the Boox Max. I don't think so. The Amazon Kindles have a backlight. The Onyx, I think now doesn't have a downlight. I haven't seen it, but somebody may know. I think it might have a light that actually shines down. I'm pretty tough with that one. I don't know because we Canadians read and write. I love that. Amy, thanks for responding for one more time. Thanks for the video on the templates. Unfortunately, I don't have an Apple device. Is it possible to listen to your podcast? Yeah, on different platforms. Yeah, you go into anywhere like Apple. Google, right? The Google. I think they have Google Podcasts or whatever. If you just search Morning Coast, it's all over the place. Okay. So you can find it. Francois is asking, have you ever had hardware damage, bending, scratches on any of these devices? I haven't had any yet, but as coordinated as I am, eventually it's going to happen. Believe me, I'm going to end up scratching or doing something to these. I mean, I got them laying all over the place. Nothing yet. They seem to be pretty durable. I haven't had any bending. My iPad, I keep on the floating keyboard, the magic keyboard, but no, nothing yet. I've been kind of delicate. I guess if I was 10 years younger and 41, I probably would break everything because that's what I used to do. I think as I'm getting into the 50s, I'm slowing down a little bit. At the end of the day, I always clean my desk, make sure the devices are where they need to be. And I'm not really, because I'm using multiple ones, I'm not like carrying one everywhere. And I haven't really been out as much. I live in the area I do my retreats and stuff. So I haven't had to travel much. So once I start traveling back to Colombia and stuff, that's where things really get banged up a lot. Great question, though. Nothing yet. Did you see my Deep Guides review on the RM2 crashed? RM2, I didn't see that for 100,000 sheets. Oh, I did see that. So yeah, that was an issue, right? And I think we had that discussion. And I think that's the problem with the 8 gigabytes. There's going to be an issue at some point. But again, you take one without the other. Can you put it in the cloud and bring it down? I don't know. And that's what we've got to kind of look for. Slow is good. Yeah, slow. Well, you're watching me now. I don't move too slow. I go 1,000,000 miles an hour. So yeah, I'm trying to slow down. Tranquila. I speak Spanish too, by the way. I need some more languages, but those are the 2 I speak. Have you taken them out in the sunshine? I should to cope in the heat. That is a great question. I am in the Florida area where it is hot. I live in South Florida, but I haven't. I probably should do that. Voya's here. Hey, everybody say hi to my deep guide. He is here. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Great job with the with your reviews. He's the best guy in the world. We all got to support him. Go subscribe to his channel. He's asking the Quadrator and the Quaderno. I always say that one. Quaderno. And the paper, which do you like more? Oh, that's such a good question, Boya. So the paper for collaboration, there's nothing like it. I'm going to tell you, this is blowing me away for having a device that I can have other people work. And as you know, my primary job is masterminds. So we've been getting on the phone and I've been writing on here and they have their devices using their software, which is just awesome because this software is the same as the 42-inch bad boy they have. but there's some latency here. It's not my favorite device because I really don't like taking notes, I'm doing my CoachCast show notes on it. So for collaboration, this is my favorite. For day-to-day work, this dual screen is badass. I have my template right here for the day. And I actually moved it. Let's see if I can come back to today's. But then I have my day notes. And so I'm using this device in the morning to get organized. And then I'm using the paper for collaboration. So I know that's not the best answer. This one has a brighter screen, a little bit better, less latency. And this has more latency, okay? Just so you know. But this is version 1.0 software. These guys shrunk a 42-inch e-ink device into here. So we got to give them some time. They've been very responsive. Everybody's buying one. They're actually like doing a Zoom meeting with. It's pretty crazy. So I'm really happy to support this company. I think they're going to do great things once they get the bugs and stuff out of this version 1.0. But that's a great question. I think for the price, the paper is a great value. I think the Quaderno, part of the problem is getting a hold of one. They're like $790, and where do you get them? But that's a great question. Thank you. Thank you for that. Which device do you use as your primary planner? Do you also have paper diary, or have you went full digital? I've gone pretty much full digital, Amy. But remember, I use, and these are other videos, I use Google Keep, Google Calendar, and Google Documents. So one of the reasons I went to the Pixel Go as one of my computers, even though I'm all Apple, the Pixelbook Go is my writing device because I love the keyboard, and I do a lot of organizing between Google Keep, Google Calendar, and Google Documents. I use Google Keep as the file cabinet. Google Documents is the in-depth stuff with my team. And then Google Keep is kind of the top level. And then Google Documents and Google Spreadsheets for our metrics. So when it comes to my business, I use a lot of the Google suite. So I'm pretty much digital, but I don't do that on these devices. So in the morning when I get up, I look at my notes in Google Keep and stuff, but then I put down my day-to-day stuff here. So if you're talking long-term planning, journaling, those type of things, they're not on these devices. That's a great question. I thank you for that. Wasn't it 1 gigabytes of RAM and 8? Yeah, I think it could have been 1 ROM. I'm not the technical guy. Voya's on here. He's got all that in his videos. Check over with him on his channel because he just did a super job on that. You're talking about you didn't like the color of the RM1, but what did you think about the RM2? It looks like the exact same color. And what did you think about the accessories? I think it looks cool. They got that stainless steel. Voya in his reviews was saying how it feels and how cool it is. This kind of feels plasticky to me. I think the next device is going to be awesome. Again, I can't tell you because I don't have one, but I do think I like the look. I think you're going to look like a cool kid walking that around. And if you go to Starbucks and work, I guarantee you're going to get people looking at you for sure, you know? So it's great. Let's see what else we got. Is there a way to convert a PDF to notebook for the RM2? Because it would be very useful for me to add blank pages. Thank you so much. I don't know that answer. That's a great question. I'm on that one for you. Watch my channel. We'll do some more lives and I'll get that for you. 61 people here. You rock. 36 thumbs up. I know you can do it on the paper because the paper changes everything to their device. So once you put a PDF in here, it actually transforms it to their file type and then you export it out, which is really, really interesting. See what we got in here. I'm working on a long PDF in the RM2. Can I add blank pages for notes? I don't know about that. So we got to figure that out. In my deep guide, Voya may know that. I don't know that. I'm going to research that. Can we add pages to PDFs? I don't know. I know you can on this device. I don't know on the others. So that's a great question. I'm the same using Google Suite on whatever laptop you're on. Could really do with a Google Drive backup on my reMarkable. Again, that's one area where this is cool. You can bring Google Drive documents into the paper. So that's another thing they have going for them. They integrated with Dropbox and Google Drive. And so you can bring documents in here. I think they're doing the Wi-Fi stuff the best. They've really done a good job with connectivity and collaboration. That's what's so different with them, right? Just passed by to say I love your energy. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. I really do. Thank you so much for your vids. They help a lot to decide which one. By the way, do you have an overheating problem? Hello from Spain. Hola in Spain. España. Yes, I can't even speak. I'm going back to my Spanish. Terrible. Roberto, no overheating so far on anything. No overheating. So everything's been good there. Does RM2 have a monthly planner? Good morning, by the way. Good morning. Yes, you can bring in a monthly planner and you can bring in some other templates. I'll tell you this about the RM, though, that I've had problems with templates. When I brought in third-party templates and they've updated the software, they've disappeared. So that's a problem. So yes, they have some templates in there for monthly. This device, the Quaderno, has a really cool interactive planner that's really cool. I don't use it, so I can't get into it too much, but you actually push it and it takes you to the pages. It's really cool. But yeah, you can make the RM2 work. You can make it work for the planner, for sure. Hey, JB and community, thank you. Just from how much I see the RM2 reviews, I like more the paper. No doubt about the RM2 has great design and latency. It's all about the RM2 and the new software functions. Yeah, it is. It is. They're both kind of different devices, but I got to tell you, I think that if you are looking for something with no latency, super speed, man, that device looks great. And my deep guide, Voya, you can see it. I mean, you could see it in his eyes and hear it in his voice, how shocked he was with that, right? So it was great. Greetings from Portugal. Great to see you. I'm so glad you're here. What do you think about the nibs? Will they be used up quickly regardless of the new canvas display? They tend to go pretty quick. And as one of our subscribers said earlier, you can kind of file them down. That's something you can do. Okay, something to think about. So that's good. Greetings from Portugal. I love it. Have you ever tried printing the notes out on the paper or the reMarkable? Sometimes I like to print them out, my digital notes, and bind them for other people. So Sheila, I haven't, but I will tell you that, again, this is where the paper rocks because you can collaborate on the iPad with their other device. It actually can be on the other device. So this has colors. So as you're working on it, you can see the colors. So let's say you put a screen up and you want to have a red and blue and green. When you're working on that, you can see it on your screen. So if you give that to somebody else, they're going to be able to use that. So that's where that device really works well. I haven't printed out the notes, but I'm sure you can just export to PDF and print them, and they'll come out pretty good on the reMarkable. Again, just different use cases there, and that's what I'm sharing with you. The reMarkable is so much peppier than this device. I will tell you, again, they're on version 1.0 of the software, and I think we got to give them a little break until they kind of work out their software, and I believe they will. Because like I said before, they're fitting a 42-inch e-ink device into this small device. So it's pretty crazy. Well, guys, listen. I appreciate you being on my first ever live. This is really cool. We're going to do more of these. I will schedule them in advance. We'll do devices. I'm going to keep growing this channel. I can't grow it without your support. When I put up videos, if you don't mind hitting the like button, it just helps the algorithm. And if you don't mind putting all notifications on, it helps me. And if you don't watch videos, that's fine. I know I'm going to have some sucky videos, but I'm going to do my best to bring good energy, devices, have fun on here. I'll do some vloggy stuff. I'm dedicated to this channel. This is my year to grow it. I'm going to go after it. And I really appreciate everybody here. Keith, hey, no problem, brother. Thanks for jumping in from Texas. Everybody, thank you so much. I will let you know ahead of time when I'm up. I'm coming on live again. I'll probably be doing more of these. But I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. You guys are the first group, right? This is just getting started. And I really appreciate you supporting me. And I'm telling you, when I put a video up, just 10 likes can make a difference in the algorithm. And it really helps this community. And I want to build this as a community, not as a video channel, nothing else. Let's help each other in the comments. I'm utilizing that community section. Let's continue to grow it. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. You guys rock. I'll let you know when we're going to be back here again live. Thank you.